Now, the ceasefire deal has still not been put into effect, and Palestinian group Hamas has cited technical issues for the delay in providing names of hostages. Now, this comes as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made it clear that there will be no ceasefire until Hamas gives the list, which gives the names of the hostages that it will return in the phase 1 of this deal. Moreover, during a televised conference, Netanyahu said that Israel has approved a ceasefire deal with militant group Hamas, but both US President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump has given full backing for Israel to restart fighting depending on the outcome of talks on the second phase of the agreement. Netanyahu called the 42-day first phase, which was expected to start today, a temporary ceasefire.
If we need to resume fighting, we will do that in new ways, and we will do it with great force.
Under the deal, 33 Israeli hostages still held by Hamas in Gaza after 15 months of conflict will be exchanged for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails during this phase. Now, that is what has been expected to play out. The forces will also withdraw from densely populated areas of Gaza as per the agreement. Displaced Palestinians will be allowed to begin returning to their homes, and hundreds of aid lorries will be allowed into the territory each day. Negotiations for the second phase will start on the 16th day. Now, it should see the remaining hostages released, a full Israeli troop withdrawal, and the restoration of sustainable calm. The third and the final stage will involve the reconstruction of Gaza, something which could take years, and the return of any remaining hostages' bodies back to Israel. Now, this remains a volatile deal which is yet to come into effect. Now, to discuss more on this, we are now being joined by Mohammad Najib from Ramallah, Palestine. He is a war correspondent and security analyst. Mr. Najib, thank you so much for joining me here on the broadcast. The deal seems contingent on the finalized names of hostages to be released, which Hamas has still not provided. What's causing the delay as per you?
Yes, actually, Hamas, until a short time ago, confirmed that the delay in turning the names to the Qatari mediators and then to the Israeli side returns to technical and field issues, as the Hamas leadership based in Qatar, and hostages are held with Hamas military leadership in Gaza Strip, and the communication between them is not that smooth communications. And also, Hamas claims that it expected 48 hours of calm in the Gaza Strip, in the field, so they can collect and bring the hostages together to a safe place where it will be close to the point where they will turn to the Red Cross, then to the Israeli side. But they said that during the past 48 hours, the Israeli drones continued roaming Gaza skies, so that will form dangerous for the locations where they were held and on Hamas militants. So they confirmed time after time today that they are still committed and abided by the ceasefire, and soon they will turn the names of the 3 Israeli hostages who will go to be freed today to the Qatari mediators, who will turn back to the Israeli, and then hopefully the ceasefire will get an implementation.
Yes. Now, these technical issues, you mentioned it briefly, we've heard it from Hamas as well. What do you feel these technical issues are that Hamas is referring to, which is causing the delay apparently?
Yeah, actually, because of the war for the past 15 months, so the locations of where they held the Israeli hostages, they have to bring them to one place close to the meeting point where they will turn them to the Red Crescent. If you look back to the November 23, when they Hamas returned back the Israeli hostages during the prisoner swap, also some released from northern Gaza Strip, some from the center of Gaza Strip, some of them in the south. So they want to bring them from their detention to a meeting point, and then to turn them to the Red Cross at 4 o'clock local time. But Hamas claims that during the past 48 hours, the Israeli drones, UAVs, continue roaming the skies of Gaza. Then this will make it difficult for Hamas because the Israelis can identify the locations where they held and they can fail the process. So that's what Hamas. And also they said that the names should be approved by Hamas Gaza commander Mohammed Sinwar, the brother of the late Yahya Sinwar. Then they will send it to Qatar. So the problem that is Hamas leadership based in Qatar and Hamas field command is in Gaza. The communication between them is not that
That's not
smooth communication and easy communication. But they confirmed several times this morning that they are going, and 2 million in Gaza actually. They were hoping this will start at 8:30 local time, so to end this 470 days of a crazy war against them.
I hear you. Mr. Najib, if I were to just look at the deal as a whole, terms for phase 2 and phase 3 seem contingent on the outcome of phase 1. But phase 1 itself is already seeing delays before it even starts. Can a deal this fragile bring about any solutions in the long term?
It happened in a very complicated situation, and the deal, this was proposed in May 23. So, but now as Trump is coming to the White House in the United States, and he pushed on Netanyahu and the Qataris and the Egyptian, he vowed Hamas of hell if they didn't return back the Israeli hostages before his inauguration tomorrow at the White House. Then all the parties found under pressure from Trump, they have to go ahead with this deal. And I don't think Hamas can bear the responsibility in front of the Qatari and the Egyptian mediators, in front of the 2 million who even went to the streets to celebrate at 8:30 this morning. They hope that the ceasefire started, put in implementation. So it's a huge pressure on Hamas and the mediators, as well as on the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, to go ahead with this. But also, it is complicated. The first phase is the easiest one of the 3 phases. So as you see, the first phase delayed, but maybe they will reach difficulties during the second phase and third phase, which is more complicated. But everyone now is watching what is going to happen, and Hamas will turn the names of the 3 Israeli hostages to the Qatari mediators and then to Israel to start.
Crucial. That list is crucial, as the Israeli Prime Minister has already made it clear. But, one would hope that at this point, after so many months, when we are so close, it can finally be achieved. Because phase 2 and phase 3, as you mentioned correctly, are going to be far more complicated. The phase 1 out of these 3 was the easiest one to achieve. Thank you so much for joining me. Mohammed Najib joining me from Ramallah, Palestine.
Thank you.